Valor Fights 40 is where we're at in Nashville, Tennessee. We're ready for our next bout. It's a flyweight bout at 125, professional MMA, and it's presented by Flow Combat. James London, 2-1, out of Louisville, Kentucky, taking on Chachi Tabor from Pennington Gap, Virginia, who is 1-1. All right, we're ready for fighter introductions. Let's go to Jennifer.
Our next bout of the evening is in the flyweight division, brought to you by Inkworks Tattoo. First, please welcome to the cage, James London.
James London, first out, 2-1, out of Area 502 MMA. That is the area code of Louisville, Kentucky. And so that camp has produced a veteran fighter in James London, who has been competing since 2010.
See what London can do here. 2-1 as a pro, his amateur record 6-7. He's 34 years of age, as Vince mentioned. He's from Kentucky. All of his pro bouts have taken place in the state of Kentucky, and as we talked about in some cameras that we did earlier, he's stepping out of his element, stepping out of his home state here.
Yeah, James London, 34 years of age, and as you mentioned, has not fought outside of the state of Kentucky before, and he's originally from Kansas. And James London, coming off of a loss last time out, lost to Eric Mole.
Right now going on.
All right, James London making his way to the cage, but we've got the flyweight champ here, Valor Fights, professional flyweight champ, CJ Hamilton here on the mic.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna find out. You know, you can talk the talk. We know you can walk the walk, man.
No, you know what? I can kind of walk the walk. I got Casey Oxendon right here to help me walk the walk, so it's all good. So.
All right, James London is in the cage. Back to Jennifer.
And his opponent making his way to the cage. Please welcome Chachi Tabor.
Chachi Tabor, the opponent for James London, 1-1 out of Iron Rock MMA in Pennington Gap, Virginia. And we'll talk to CJ in a little bit more in a moment, but tell us a little bit about this matchup, Casey.
Well, you know, I mean, two contrasting styles, different locations. Of course, James London, originally from Kansas, now making his home in Louisville, Kentucky, and he faces Chachi Tabor, who's really come on a lot. One of the sleepers of the MMA world. Most recently fought Jared Scoggins to a decision. Tough individual out of Iron Lock MMA. That is a catch-as-catch-can wrestling school. But Chachi, really, he can do it all.
Take a look at the tail of the tape. Chachi is 8 years younger than London. And look at that height advantage. That's a big difference. That's 7 inches between the two. Records very similar. James London weighed in at 126. Chachi Tabor at 125.2. We're excited about this one. And we're cage side here in Nashville. Vince Ferrara, nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
we didn't have time for official introduction. We'll do it on the air. It's all right.
It's fine. It's cool.
We're live.
Hey, I'm honored to be next to some good ass good
it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Like like you guys are awesome.
Fighters have already cussed in the cage tonight, so we're
cool.
all right.
We're good. We're good then.
Just not during. We'll keep it clean during. But so what do you think of this matchup between these two?
To me, to be honest with you, that height factor is amazingly. It's going to be important because 6'1" at 125.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard to get in on him. But you know, these guys are professionals, as you said, so they've done enough training to know what they have to do.
All right, let's go back to Jennifer in the cage.
This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the Hog's red corner. He weighed in at 126 pounds, holds a record of 2 wins with 1 loss, and represents Area 502 MMA in Louisville, Kentucky, James London. And his opponent across the cage to my right, fighting out of the OEB blue corner. He weighed in at 125 pounds, holds a record of 1 win with 1 loss, and represents Iron Lock MMA in Pennington Gap, Virginia, Chachi Tabor. Your referee when the action begins is Nate Jolly.
Nate Jolly, our referee in this flyweight bout at 125, presented by Flow Combat. We're live at flowcombat.com. James London in the white trunks, Chachi Tabor in the blue trunks. 3 5-minute rounds, professional MMA. We are ready to go. Nashville Fairgrounds Arena, Nashville, Tennessee. Valor Fights 40. Let's go.
Here we go. We've got James London coming out in the southpaw position. We saw that earlier tonight. That can shake things up a little bit. You've got to be prepared to face a southpaw. Now, that being said, Chachi Tabor, you know, we've talked about it, so long and rangy. You've really got to have some good footwork to get inside of that.
Tabor's finished 8 of his 10 wins. Oh, big
Good inside kick. I like it.
London briefly turned his back.
Yeah. You know, Chachi Tabor has been in the cage with some tough opponents. One of my training partners, Jared Scoggins. I mean, even though he's 1-1, he's been in the cage with one of the best flyweights in the Southeast. So, I mean, I give experience on his side, but you know, James London is looking really, really solid right now. I would like to see more thrown, more hands, but
London's definitely the stiffer of the two. You know, a more tightly wound kind of fighter. Chachi more relaxed. Sometimes that can work for you, know, like a drunk in a car wreck. So it's you know, it's interesting to see this contrast of styles.
yeah, and plus it's 15 minutes. You don't want to rush into anything either. So
London was 6-7 as an amateur, while Tabor was 10-2 before deciding to turn pro, and lost that Scoggins fight, by the way, to your teammate.
yeah, I mean, you know, not taking anything from Chachi, but Jared is he's an animal, man. I mean, listen to the last name, Justin, Jared. They're both insane. But Chachi, like I said, I give him the experience on his side.
CJ, man, you've been doing big things down there in Georgia. You've got, of course, a crew of tough guys around you. One that comes to mind, Brandon Webb.
Yeah.
That kid is so fast. It seems like you guys, you know, especially trained together, you complement each other a whole lot. You know, because when you step into the cage, of course, we saw you the same night there at Valor Fights 39, both getting wins. But, you know, it's like, you know, you build off of each other with that speed, man. The two of the fastest fighters, you know, on the Valor roster right now.
Brandon makes me glad that I'm not a 35er or a 45er. he every day I train with him, he makes me realize that I'm a flyweight. Like, that's it. I'm not going to try and do the Conor McGregor 2-weight champion. No, like, I'm a flyweight. That's it. But yeah, Brandon Webb actually fights next weekend at NFC in Atlanta, and you know, he's an explosive dude. But you know, that's what I have to deal with 6 days a week. So it's not fun, man. It's by no means.
So, Casey, who's winning this round?
Man, you know, I think that, you know, the single shots, James London's landed a few single shots, but Chachi's been coming on, especially landed a really stiff inside leg kick earlier, and, you know, it reverberated throughout the arena. But both of these guys are still a little hesitant to engage here.
Yeah, I would agree with you right there. And I mean, you know, you got to learn how to use these
nice.
things.
Big counter there.
Perfect.
And a big takedown there by James
Perfect.
London. Outside trip gets the job done.
James needs to stay heavy on that hip right there. Passing them out right now. If he can get out of somewhat of a lockdown.
Chachi known for not only you know, standard grappling, but an unorthodox style as well. His body you know, contorts. He's a very wiry, squirrely guy. He can do things that you won't typically see out of a standard grappler. You can see that here. You know, it's you know, his body becomes quicksand, if you will.
Oh yeah, when you're 6'1" at 125 pounds, I can guarantee your grappling is insane. I mean, everybody that you fight is going to be shorter than you. Chachi looks like he should be dunking a basketball right now, but he's doing his thing, and all respect goes to him. But he looks comfortable, but he needs to get out of this position, though.
Here we go. We're gaining full guard control here. Is Chachi Tabor maybe looking for a finish, squirreling those legs around, but he's only got 10 seconds to go. And it may be James London taking this round because the only significant move was that takedown. Beautiful outside trip by James London.
Sorry, CJ, go ahead.
No. I'm on your time.
No. You're the expert.
I definitely agree with London taking that round with that takedown. It was awesome. As I was in the middle of speaking, he just hit it really quick. He looks good. What I would like to see is, more hands. Chachi is very long. He kind of reminds me of a Nate Diaz kind of build, very long and lanky. So I would want him to use his reach. James London, he's very more explosive than Chachi, and I feel like he needs to get more inside with him, just like how it happened with that trip. It works. So, we'll see what happens in round 2. But, these guys are professionals, like I said. They'll make the prior adjustments to whenever they need to. So,
these kids, they're flyweights, just like yourself, and they have to be aspiring to that belt, and you've got that belt. And so, if you were faced against these guys, what is your strategy? What are you seeing, or the holes? What are the styles that you think?
More realistically, if I was facing Chachi, I'd just be in and out. There's no need for me to stand in front of him. If I was facing James London, I'd just stay on him. Just keep something in his face and get him frustrated, because if you sit there and let him, me and my coach Chuck Cawthon, we call it cooking. If you just let him sit there and cook in front of you, he's going to serve you something. So, it just all goes with the prior adjustments in this round right now.
CJ,
so we'll see.
Excuse me. If you continue with the food analogies, I think we'll connect with all of our viewers and us.
Dude,
we'll know what you're talking
look,
about.
I'm with you, man. My girlfriend just brought some French fries with honey mustard drizzled all
big
over it.
stiff right hand there by Chachi Tabor.
London now.
London felt it. He closed the distance there.
He needs to work on the cage, get the takedown, and start where he ended at in the last round.
Oh, here we go. London really pushing hard for that takedown. I think he's going to get it. Good. He does here.
Raining down.
Landing some big shots. It's James London.
Boy, some of those are connecting on Chachi.
You gotta be careful with a guy that tall, though. Like guys that tall, I fought somebody like that before, and their guard is very, very tricky, man. They have long legs. Like with me, I have these little short, stumpy legs. It's hard to do things, but I wouldn't count Chachi out right now.
Wow. And then of course, you stand up over top of him. You got to watch out for those crazy up kicks as well.
Exactly. See, not normal people would be able to do that because of his legs.
Looking for the back.
Here we go. Yeah, London in control here. Back control, looking for the sub. Oh, this could be deep here. That looks deep.
Nate Jolly.
James London could have this right here.
If he puts his hips in right now, it'll be game over.
Chachi somehow holding on here.
Twisting back.
He taps. And he taps. It's a done deal. Big win for James London.
Sunken in.
James London wins his flyweight bout.
I like it.
Wow. In after eating some strikes is when he went for it up against the cage and ended up getting the takedown.
Yeah, and Chachi Tabor is a pedigreed grappler, man.
Yeah.
He knows his way around the mats. And again, went to distance with Jared Scoggins. So to get a finish over him is a huge feather in James London's cap.
And we take a look at the replay here. So tell us what Autobot, tell us what you see here.
All right, so I see Chachi. He has his hips in right now. He's getting that gable grip on. Has it across the chin. It was already sunk. Chachi tried to go to a kind of a side mount a little bit, and he tried to get out, but it was just it was already sunken in by the time he turned, and I mean I like it. It was awesome. It was a good submission. Props to James London, man. He did his thing.
Was able to overcome that height advantage. Well, you kind of wondered about it a little bit, but I mean overpowered him really.
Yeah, I mean like everybody's taller than me anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But you know, it's 6'1" at 125 is something serious.
2 minutes and 10 seconds into the second round for your winner via rear naked choke submission. Out of the Hogs red corner, James London.
Congratulations to James London, who comes over from Louisville, Kentucky.
James, huge finish here over a veteran in Chachi Tabor. He was a former Valor Fights amateur flyweight champ. This is a kid who went the distance with Jared Scoggins, a renowned fighter. You're able to finish tonight. Talk about your experience here at Valor Fights.
Man, it's been great to me. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. I hope everybody liked it. Oh, much props to my coaches, Phil Perkins. Thank you, Josie, for coming out. Thank you, all the Weapon fans. I love y'all. Hey, Valor, y'all hear that? Bring me back.
Everybody hands together for your winner, James London.